Hey, can you hear me? Look, check it out. Ignite Her has launched. It is 2025. I'm just picking up clothes from one of my friends who had some extra clothes to help out the Ignite Her program. If you have any gently worn business attire, clothes for women who are out here doing the work but maybe do not have the clothing that they need to get the job done, we need your old clothes. Hit me up in my inbox or through House of Peach. The program is called Ignite Her, where we provide clothing to women who may be transitioning from one job to the next and maybe don't have the means to buy clothes. It could be going from working at McDonald's to now working in an office. So we're looking for gently worn business clothes. Make sure y'all hit us up, all right? Please hit us up. We need those clothes. And check right below there. If you're not in the state of Delaware, you can mail them to us. Or if you're in Delaware, we'll pick them up. Y'all have a great evening.
Hello, everybody. Y'all, I am excited about being back this evening. Last Monday, I believe I was traveling and I could not get on. And so Morgan had to host the show by herself. But today, I'm on and Morgan has a sick child. So I guess we're just going to play tag a little bit until we can get back on together. Y'all know my girl is doing it up in Ghana. So she's enjoying herself. But I'm April Anderson. Welcome to the Boss Ladies Lounge. I am one half of the Boss Ladies, and I am here for another power pack information filled session on this evening. I hope you will do me a favor. Please. Yes, I'm going to beg you. I need you to share this out. Y'all don't be selfish. Come on, we have fun. We laugh, we have in-depth conversations. A lot of stuff takes place on this show. We're here for you. We're not here for us. We're here for you. We already have people that know us. We want to give you information that's going to inspire you, motivate you, uplift you, help push you to your next level that takes you straight to destiny. Because sometimes we need a little extra push. We need a little extra information. We need a little extra insight that will help us get to where we want to go. This is completely, utterly unscripted. We don't have a paper that has the questions on there. No, this is strictly off the cuff from our experiences, from what we've seen in others, things that's happened in social media, things that have happened in our personal lives. Y'all know I tell you, I'm real transparent. So I'll tell you about me and my business all the time because, hey, my life is an open book pretty much. And if I have some things that have taken place in my life that I can help you with, that I can say, listen, don't go down that road. I did that and this is what happened. So then that's what I want to do. I want to help you out. So I hope you guys know, and you should know by now, we are live every single Monday. Every Monday, for the most part, every Monday, unless something catastrophic happens and we can't get on, but every Monday at 6 p.m. Central Standard Time, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And we just come on and we have a really good time. You never know who's going to be on. We invite those that are watching from the audience to jump on at any time. If you want the link and you want to put your input in, hey, we want you to come on. Like, we're not stingy. We're not selfish. We want to share. Hey, Maybach, my friend, how are you? I'm so happy you're on. Hey, can you see me live on Instagram too? Yo, I did something new. Listen, y'all, I'm like coming out the box here. So I've just been streaming from Facebook. So I decided to do something a little different. I'm on Facebook and Instagram Live. Y'all, your girl is trying to expand and do a little bit more. So I was scared for a minute, but I said, you know what? Let me just do it. If it messes up on Instagram, I just delete and then start all over again. But hey, it's working because I have two monitors here in my office and I can see myself on one and then I see myself here and then I'm looking on Facebook. Y'all, it's a good day for me to do something extra. So every Monday we're here. The last Monday in every single month is our He Said, She Said series, where we have topics where we would love to have guests come on for that. The last Monday, we don't want it to just be Morgan and I. We'd love to have men come on because the topics we discuss, we want it from the male perspective as well as the female perspective. We don't want nobody saying, oh, they just said it from the women's perspective. Hey, what did the man say? Well, if you come on and give us your input, we'll know what you say. We'll know how you feel. The only way we know is you got to come on the show. You got to come on the show. So the last Monday in this month, we will have our He Said, She Said series. And I always give props and shout out to Morgan because that title, He Said, She Said, that segment, that's her baby. She named that. I'm like, yo, this is amazing. We want to use that. So for the past year and a half, we've been using that He Said, She Said. And the last Monday in this month, you can set yourself up for a major topic of discussion. Maybach said you're watching on YouTube. Oh yeah, I forgot. So we are streaming live on Facebook. There's 3 different pages on Facebook. There's House of Peach, there's my page, there's Morgan page. We're also streaming live on YouTube on the House of Peach, and little old April, little old country April, got us live on my personal page on YouTube, on Instagram. I don't know if we're on Instagram on with House of Peach. We got to figure that out. But you have no excuse why you could not watch this show. None whatsoever. There's too many platforms, like too many. So here we are. Today, I cannot explain to you how these topics come up. I cannot give you a rhyme or reason for it, but I'm always thinking like, what is something really good that we can talk about? And I always, 100%, always start with me. What's happening in my life, in my business, in my personal life that I can get some content or a good topic from for us to discuss? Or what have I seen? What have I experienced? Because y'all know I travel extensively. And I just got back from Arizona. I was in Arizona, not this weekend gone, but the weekend before. So, seeing things in Arizona, seeing things in the airport, experiencing things with American Airlines, which American, I'm done with you 100% this time. I thought I was done when I lived in South Dakota and I should have been done, but I had a hard head. And you know what your great grandmother said? A hard head make a what? A soft behind. So mine real cushiony right now because I chose to fly with American and I shouldn't have because they almost made me miss getting to Arizona because of their mechanical errors, mechanical things on their planes. Both of them now, both that I had. So at any rate, here we are. So I'm looking for what can we discuss? What can we talk about? What can we give insight on? What can we have a come to Jesus moment? Come to the realization. Let's be real with ourselves. And y'all, I had to come to me. Oh my God. This is another one that's like, oh, I feel targeted. I feel like, oh, but the title came and it's something that I dealt with. So tonight we're going to talk about false justification for failure. Y'all, ain't that something? That very title came to me. False justification for failure. Now, many of you that know me, some of you know or don't know, I like words. And so I'll look up words to see the meaning, to see how they can be connected. Hey, Mother Lane, I see you. Hey, Miss Ann, I see you too over here on Facebook. Y'all comment up, comment away. Just do all the commenting. I want to see you everywhere so I can acknowledge you. All right. So I looked up these 3 words, false, I looked up justification, and I looked up failure. And this is from the Webster's Dictionary. And these are the ones that resonated with me that I wanted to talk about because I actually, for a long, long time, tried to justify some things that caused failure in my life. And I'm going to talk about it after I give you these definitions. So, false, not true or correct, intentionally untrue, or deceptive. Deceptive, like you want to deceive someone, you want them to make it appear what it's not. That's for false. Then there's justification, reason or explanation that defends or supports. So you have a list of things that has taken place in your life that justifies your failure. Now, this failure can take place not only in your personal life, whether it's friendships, romantic relationships, marriages, but also in your businesses as well, because we always want to tie this in to the entrepreneur as well, because it aligns. It really does align. And then there's failure. Failure, falling short of an expected or desired outcome, or lack of success. Now, Webster gave a whole list of definitions for all of these, but these, the ones that I gave, resonate with me. Now, people will try to justify their lack of success to cover up deficiencies in themselves in both business and relationships. Y'all, I promise you, as my name is what it is, I did not get that from nowhere. That had to be divinely given. Divinely given. People will try to justify their lack of success to cover up deficiencies in themselves. So let me go ahead. I'm going to tell them, let me just spill the tea on me. So I went to college the first time in 1994. I went in North Carolina. I get there. I hadn't had much experience in life out, hanging out with friends, going out on dates a lot, doing all this kind of stuff, partying. So shoot, I'm 18. I'm out here on this campus. It's just me. Let me try some stuff. Let's see what's going on now. Don't get me wrong. There was no drugs involved, nothing illegal involved, nothing. Okay. Let's not go. Let me clear that up. I didn't go down that road. Alcohol, yeah. Drugs, no. Okay. So partying was my thing. And the group of girls that I was with, I was the oldest out the group. So I was the one that I had a car. So I drove. They gave me gas money. We went to the club. We had it all planned out. We would drink before we go to the club, drink at the club. We had our designated driver, all of that. However, I got a little too excited about the college life. Just a little too excited. Now, I go from top of my class in high school, top 3% maybe, I guess. I don't know what the percentage was in my graduating class, like high honors, scholarships, all this kind of stuff. The college where I was, I actually did get a scholarship. So I did excel academically. Socially, not so much. Very introverted, and I know that's hard to believe, but yes, I was very, very extremely introverted. So I didn't do anything at all. So I go to college and I'm trying to have a coming out party. Let me come out and see what's going on. But it cost me. It cost me, one, to get on academic probation my junior year, which I was like, oh, hold up, pump your brakes, girl. You need to calm this down. You need to get yourself together. But I never did really bounce back because I had so many other factors there at college that was going on that caused me to get put out of school, y'all. I got kicked out. Now, false justification for failure. So I didn't get that degree. But you know what I attributed it to? Growing up, I didn't get a chance to experience things in life. I didn't get to live like teenagers got to live, to be able to do stuff. So when I got to college, I wouldn't lose my mind. Now, I didn't go off the deep end, but I was close to that cliff. I'm telling you, real, real close. So I used that excuse and tried to justify it by me not succeeding in that one area because I had a rough upbringing. There were things that happened. I didn't get the chance to experience my childhood, like the teenage years, all of that. So I could have had that experience. So I wouldn't have had to try that. But who's to say 100% that I would not have gone to college and still clown? Who's to say? Nobody knows 100%. So for years, I used that. And you know why? I used that to justify me not getting my head together, buckling down, staying focused, and getting back on track. So I spiraled out and I never could recover from that. And I carried that guilt and used that excuse, that false justification. Now, could what I went through and how I was raised have something to do with it? Absolutely. But how long will we utilize those excuses to justify us not meeting the mark? How long are we going to use those excuses? That happened in 1994 to 97. We are now in 2025, and I haven't used that excuse now for the past 3 years. I really haven't. I let it go. Like, girl, you just got to let it go. Because I came back up and was able to then get degrees and make up for what I lost at that time. But for years, I did that. So, of course, here I am now saying, you know what? That was not true 100%. I needed to come to myself and realize, listen here, chick, you came to North Carolina to go to college to get your degree so you can do what you wanted to do with your life, which was be a pediatrician. That's what I wanted to do. I wanted to be a pediatrician. That I had my life all laid out. I'm gonna tell y'all, and don't y'all laugh at me, okay? I was going to become a pediatrician. I was going to move to Virginia. I was going to buy me a Lexus, and I wasn't going to start having kids until I turned 35. Now, I never went to Virginia. I can't stand the Lexus line, so I never bought that. And I started having kids at 23. Go figure. That was my plan, but it wasn't the plan that was supposed to be for my life. So I had to realize you play a part in your success. What, you think it's just going to come by osmosis? You don't think you have anything to do with your success? You 100% do. But how long are we going to utilize all that other stuff to justify us not meeting the mark? Well, if my internet hadn't been turned off, oh, you know what? I'm going to say this because I've had students come to me with this foolishness. They couldn't turn in their assignments because their internet got turned off. Well, number one, I'm sorry that your internet was turned off. I get it. I've been there where my internet was turned off. However, you got a whole college campus full of rooms with computers that you can take your happy little self to, sit down at the computer, do your work, and submit it. So you're going to use that excuse, false justification, to now justify you not passing my course? No. So I'm supposed to give you a pass when you're supposed to use critical thinking skills of how can I get this work done? There has to be a way for me to get this work done and submit it on time so I make the grade. Or are you going to keep using excuses? So, I'm grateful for therapy. I'm grateful for workshops, for trainings, for all of that stuff to make me see me for real. When I tell you that vulnerability that you have when you accept the fact that you played a part in your lack of success, that don't feel too good. I don't like being vulnerable. I don't. And God has forced me into vulnerable play positions because he's trying to break things off so I now can go to the next level. Could it be that that's the same thing that's trying to happen for you? Come through, entrepreneurs. Y'all come over here and listen for a minute. You want your business to skyrocket and go to the next level? But you keep using the same old excuses, trying to have a list of things to justify why you haven't done that. I'm going to, hey, let me just tell on myself again. Today is going to be April Tell on April Day. Oh my God. My consulting business. I've had this consulting business since 2018. I have had so many things that have taken place that could help catapult this business. And because of fear, and I have an issue with rejection that I'm working on. I don't like to be rejected, but I'm working on it. Because of that, it has not gotten to the level that I desire where it can be. So I have to not use any excuses as to why it's not at the level that I want it or desire it to be. But I have to now take accountability. There's that word that people don't like to hear. Accountability. We need to take accountability for what we have done or not done that has hindered our growth, that's hindered our expansion. So I didn't study, didn't do what I was supposed to do. I was trying to have fun. My grades was dwindling. Y'all, and I'm real smart. Like, I could go back now and take those biology, and I love chemistry. Oh my God, I love chemistry. So I could do biology, chemistry, all of that stuff and ace it now because I've had the experience. I've had other courses, but when it really mattered, then I wasn't doing it. It was not difficult to comprehend the work. The course load was not, it wasn't excessive. I could handle it. It's just that I prioritize. Oh, there's another word. So we got accountability and we have prioritizing. I didn't prioritize what I needed to do for my education over me out here turning up and having a good time with my little awkward self. Y'all should have seen me. Just a mess. Not wearing no makeup, just square. But I thought I was out there doing stuff, experiencing, standing on the wall in the club looking silly. I'm the one, I'm the designated driver over in the corner. But I didn't prioritize. So then for years, I'm talking about, hey, my childhood, and I didn't get a chance to experience a lot. So when I got to college, I wanted to experience stuff. And it's like, oh, poor April, that worked for a little bit. Then after a while, it's like, grow up. When are you going to be accountable for your actions? When are you going to say, hey, it was me? Now, partially, yeah, my childhood, but 90, maybe 40% I'll give to the childhood. But 60%, because I had common sense, was on me. On me. So now in my more mature, seasoned age, I know better. So am I going to use false justification for my lack of success? No, I'm real with people. Look, I just did not make the phone calls that I needed to. I didn't follow up on emails like I should have. I missed that email, and I did miss an email probably 2 years ago. It was an important email that I did not respond to. I saw it, but I didn't respond. And guess what? I missed out on a contract because of that. Oh, Jesus help me. I missed out on something that could have helped add to my portfolio in my consulting business because I didn't respond in a timely manner. So time management is vital. So we need to stop using these false justifications for our lack of success. Stop blaming people. You had a traumatic childhood, so did I, baby. But look where I am. Look where I am now compared to where I was. Did I bounce back? 100% bounce back and exceeded my expectations. Now, where would I have thought that I would have been in this position that I'm in now? I didn't see this because all I knew was I want to be a pediatrician. And when that went down the tubes, I'm like, oh, and then I started having kids. I'm like, oh, well, yeah, I'm mommy now. So me trying to do anything else is going to be kind of slim. But you know what? It wasn't. I was able to make up for what I lost when I put down the whole thing of this happened to me and that happened to me and oh, woe is me. There's only so long that I'm going to listen to people do that because I had to come to the realization for myself. Ooh, I'm talking better than y'all commenting. Y'all need to comment. All right, hold on. I got to look over here. There's some folks commenting over here. Oh, thank you. Mama Lane say this is good. She said, oh my goodness, this was meant for me today. She was a travel agent for a year. It wasn't going like she thought it should. So she gave up, but considered going back, but working it in a different direction. Woo, I am glad that I'm helping you. My life is going to be the example for people because we got to be real. All right, listen at this. Listen at this. This is something else I wrote down. If we are to succeed at anything, it comes first with self-awareness and accountability. I wish I had a mic to drop. Self-awareness and accountability. So as I'm cooking my dinner today for me and my kids, this stuff is coming to me and I'm stopping it right like, oh my God, this is good. This is good. It comes first with self-awareness and accountability. Take accountability for the fact that, April, you didn't answer that email, so you missed out. But one thing about God, he's a redeemer. And I love that because he knew that I was going to drop the ball. He said she's going to drop the ball, but she's going to recognize what she has done or has not done. And I'm going to give her another opportunity. So that opportunity is about to present itself. And trust me, as I am who I am, I won't miss it again. Morgan, hi.
How you doing?
Fantastic. How are you?
I'm great. Hot, but good.
Oh, yeah. It's quite warm over there, isn't it? Y'all say hello to my girl, Morgan. She's streaming all the way from Ghana. How are things? Is it really, really hot? What's the temperature there?
Right now, I think it's like 89
No, that's
at
not
night.
too bad. Is it? Oh, at night? Oh, yeah, that's kind of bad. Yeah, that's bad. At night, that's right, because you're 6 hours, so it's like what, midnight there, right?
Yeah, almost midnight. It's 11. Yeah, like 11:28. So
Okay.
yeah. I
So,
was like, it's it's hot at night, hotter during the day, but
mm,
bearable. But yeah. Sorry, I'm late, but I was like, all is well. You gotta make sure we're
good.
not doing anything crazy.
Right. I get it. So we're talking about false justification for failure. And so we have to, I've been, of course, utilizing my life because of all of the things that I have not done that I should have done. And at being accountable and saying, yes, I did this. Yes, I messed up. This was me. And knowing that there is something that I can do to correct it and fix that. So, I've had, and I want to take it back to the education, and not mine, but my students. So I've had students over this 20-year span who have not been successful in my courses or in my program. So because of them not being successful, then they come back on me like it's my fault, like it's me. I've had students just recently say, oh my God, we have this to do in your class, and we have this to do in this class, and this to do, and they want me to change my due dates. I said, this is college. This isn't high school. This isn't elementary school. You are a full grown person. You are an adult. So it's called time management. So if you're not successful, it's not on me. One of my classes, two of my classes that I have, the simplest classes you could ever take. Like if you just do the assignments and submit them properly on time, you have a greater chance, 80 to 90, between 85 and 95% chance of passing the course, provided you do the work. So if you submit nothing, you don't follow the directions, because I'm very, very specific with the directions, then don't try to give me a list of reasons to justify why you didn't pass. No, look at you. What did you do? Were you sleeping when you should have been studying? Were you hanging out when you should have been doing those assignments? Like, what were you doing? So, yeah, I don't let that, we don't go that route. You have everything that you need from the first day of class. Every assignment, all the due dates, I even go over the stuff. So there's no reason for you not to be successful in the class. And on top of that, I have 2 days a week that I do tutoring. Just as simple as that. So there's no reason. So don't give me these false list of things to justify why you didn't pass. And I'm supposed to feel sympathy. I don't. I don't. Because I don't have that sympathy for myself, because I beat myself up before I let anybody else do it. I didn't do what I was supposed to do. I didn't follow up. I didn't handle this right. I didn't make that phone call. I didn't answer the phone. I didn't return the phone call. All of these things that put us in those positions. So we want to try again and now do it the right way so we can get the results that we desire. Go
I
ahead,
agree.
Mo.
Well, I mean, at the end of the day, it really is what it's an excuse,
Mm-hmm.
and it's an excuse to not be accountable. There is always going to be a reason. Like I said, I like to call 9 to 5s OPJ, the other people's job. You know what I mean? There are things that will come up that are meant to distract you from what
Right,
it is you're supposed to be doing. And that is never going to be an acceptable excuse for why
right,
certain things aren't getting done. Even if it's like, well, I've got this job and, I don't know how I'm supposed to work on my business. You have 24 hours in the day. Most people work an 8-hour shift. Even if you took 4 hours for commute and everything else, that's still giving you what, 12 hours? So that's still another 12 hours. Even if you gave yourself 8 hours, there's four
right,
hours where you at least working on your business, which is half of a shift anyway.
right.
So you don't end up having any excuses for why you don't show up the way that you need to. And it kind of ties back into last week, when I was giving down certain things. It's like you have to go from something being a passion project to actually realizing that this is it's a business. And when you
Mm-hmm.
go from passion project to business and you realize that you have to hold the same way that you would hold yourself accountable at a 9 to 5 is the same way that you have to hold yourself accountable for your own business. Then that's when again you stop making excuses. But at the end of the day, the excuses, I was like, I mean, they're either going to make you wake up and realize that you're making excuses,
Mm-hmm.
or you're going to just stay in the spot that you're in, and then 2, 3, 4 years from now, when you could have been further, you're going to be like, oh dag, I wish I coulda, woulda, shoulda.
Yeah. So I heard this a while ago and it still reigns true. If you treat your business like a hobby, it'll pay you like a hobby. If you treat it as a business, you'll get paid like it's a business. And the time that we have throughout the day, you don't have to devote one sitting of 4 hours to your business. If you can't do it that way, then you can do an hour here, 30 minutes there, 45 minutes here, 3 hours there, however you do that. But you know what's going to help us with it is having a daggum calendar. You gotta write it down, because when you write it down and you put time beside it, you will begin to see all of the areas that you are wasting time that you can modify so you can work your business, so you can do things differently in school, so you can get things done around the house, so you can cook, so you can clean, so you can do all of that stuff. I find that when I use my calendar and every hour on the hour, I have something listed that I need to do, I stay on task and I accomplish so much more. So then I can't use anything to justify me not being successful because I had the calendar. When I first started, when I lived in New Jersey and I was working at the college there, I did not use time management wisely. So I literally would sit in my office because I was teaching classes, I was director of the program. I would come in and have a load of emails. You know what I would do? Instead of saying, okay, from 8 to 9, it's just emails, or 8 to 8:30, I'm gonna check emails, and whatever I don't get checked, I'll have to do it the next day because I have to move on. One day, and I remember this so vividly because the next day I'm like, oh my God, I spent the full day just checking emails and nothing else got accomplished. What does that mean for me? Working late, taking stuff home, not meeting my deadlines because I haven't used time management wisely. So people, you guys that are entrepreneurs, just know if you have another job that you have to work, you got do a calendar, write it down so you can fit in time. When you do something, that's better than not doing anything at all. Something is better than nothing. If all you can spare is an hour, you make that hour count. So then you don't have any reasons. And if you didn't really meet the mark that you did, trust me, you inched a little closer to the finish line because you did put in some work. If you didn't put in any work at all, then you got something to be upset about. Put in some time. You have now moved the train a little bit closer. I can see the light. I can see the flag because you did something.
And honor the time commitments that you put down as far as the slots are concerned. I know that's something that, I personally have a hard time with. Sometimes it'll be like, I'm trying to get in a lot during the day, and I might have a couple of consultations in between some other stuff, and I'll have a consultation down for like 45 minutes, and next thing I know, it's been an hour and 15, and I'm like,
yeah,
that's cutting into time where I got something else going on. And I hate to be that person to rush or just be like, oh, this is it. But, I grew up with the with the saying time is money.
Yeah.
And sometimes you don't have that time, or the time that you are putting towards something which is not what it's allocated towards, that will cost you money. So or you're giving away stuff for free. You know what I mean? So like I said, it could be one of these consultations that I'm getting paid for, and there's only an allotment for 90 minutes, and here you go into 95 minutes. You didn't get paid for that $5. I mean, that 5 minutes. So,
but you know what? When you were talking about you don't want to cut people off or cut the time off, therapists do it all the time. You pay them for an hour. When it's 5 minutes to the hour being gone, they're wrapping it up because you're getting up out of there. They got the next client coming in, because if they allow us to keep going, then it's going to put them behind. And then the other clients are not going to get the care and attention that they need because we monopolize it. So don't feel bad about that, because like you said, time is money. So if I want my business to flourish, if I want my life, if I want my education to flourish, I gotta have some time constraint and honoring that. Like you said, Maybach said, to some people, it's just easier to blame instead of taking accountability. Absolutely. It's easy for them to say it because what they think that it's doing is it's taking it off their shoulders and freeing them, when in the end, it's all going to come out in the wash that it was you and not who or what you were blaming it on, because people are going to start to see a repetitive pattern. You're constantly blaming this, but what you're doing though, because this is your story all the time. This is why you haven't made it all the time. Nah, you might have got me those first couple of times, but now I know, it's not that. You play a part in that as well. This is the same thing in relationships. People don't want to be accountable for the stuff that they've done, especially, okay, all right. Here we go, another transparent moment for April. Y'all getting all the tea on April this evening. So I was married for 12 years. 12. And I blamed him, which 90% of it, oh, there goes Morgan. 90% of it was him. Morgan, you still there? camera just went off.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm here.
90%
Yeah.
of it was him, but I played a part in it too. You know how? I'm going to own that 10%, and that's all I'm owning. You hear me? That's all I'm owning. 10% because I was not vocal about how I was feeling about what was taking place, my desires, how I would like for us to work together more, things that I saw that made me uncomfortable. I wasn't vocal about that. I literally let that man run over me until I had gotten to here. And by this time, I was a maniac. And so there, listen here, buddy. You treading on thin ice, and I mean thin ice to drown. Okay? Maybach, you are funny. He said, give us the tea. We here for it. I want to, if it's gonna help somebody, if it's gonna help you, I'll tell you about me. Whatever. It is what it is. So 90% him, but there was 10% that I needed to own. I needed to take accountability for what my lack of communication, my lack of, listen, buddy, this ain't what we doing in here because I don't like how that makes me feel. That's the no. So this is a good example. We were living in South Dakota. And in South Dakota, when I say it gets like 30 below, 30 below. So where people would have remote starts on their car. I didn't have a remote start on my vehicle. Okay. I bought it in Arizona and drove it to South Dakota, right? So for Christmas, he wanted to get me a remote start for my car. You know what I said? I don't want that. He was like, you don't want a remote start? No. He said, well, what you want? I want these bills paid, man. Because I was paying all the bills myself. I was doing everything myself. He took his little money and did what he wanted to do. But see, I waited until it had bubbled over and then I clowned on it. I don't want that. I want these bills paid. That Merry Christmas to me because the bills are being paid. So that lack of communication, I take accountability because I didn't communicate. I internalized everything. And I internalized it to the point to where my hair started falling out. I remember having a migraine for a straight week. I went to the doctor. She sat there looking at me like, do I put her in the psych ward? Do I give her medication? What do I do? Because my blood pressure was through the roof. The migraine, and I told her, I said, the stressor is sitting out there in the waiting room. So in relationships, we got to take accountability. Now, I'm in the dating world now, y'all, and it ain't fun. I'm telling you, I want to be out. But in the dating world, we as men and women, we have to be vocal in a nice way. Y'all don't be nasty with it. In a nice way, let people know what we like and don't like. Like I got to have a meeting with somebody now. Like, bruh, you about to be on the chopping block because what you doing, I can't get with that. But if I allow it, I'm just repeating the cycle. And then I'm like, oh, well, I wasn't taught about men and relationships and yada, 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 false justification for me not being successful. No, I'm not going to use that because there's too many relationship gurus. There's too many books, too many podcasts, too many married people that have been successful and are really happy, not pretending to be happy, but really happy that I can glean information from to know how I need to carry myself and what I need to do. So y'all stop using all these excuses. I don't want to hear them. I don't. Because we all can be at the top. We all can be successful in business. We can be successful in relationships. We can be successful in education. Whatever area of your life, you can be successful if we just stop false justifying it. Stop. When it doesn't work. Okay. Now, if you put the work into a relationship and you did your part and you put the work into a business and it didn't work out, or for some people, they put the time in education and the colleges were shady and they shut down, surprisingly, and the people couldn't get their money back. They couldn't even get a transcript and they had to start all over again. I get that. That was beyond your control. As long as you did what you were supposed to do, you're good. Now, I could take it a step further with the education, but I'm going to leave y'all alone tonight. I'm not going to go down that road because I'm real big on checking accreditation and history on these institutions before I sign my name and give you my money. I want to check and see. But however, I'm going to let that be another talk for another time. But if you've done what you're supposed to do, you've dotted all your I's across all your T's. You've done everything that you could think to do. You've asked people to get input and it still didn't work. Guess what? It wasn't meant for you. Point blank, period. That wasn't the business venture that you needed to take. Maybe you let someone say, hey, you would do good at this. But if you're not passionate about it, then no, don't jump in it now. Oh, y'all look good together. Y'all make a cute couple. We need beyond cute, because cute will mess you up. Are you compatible? Are you equally yoked? Do you have the same mindset direction that the two of you want to go in? Do y'all want to build, or y'all just in it because he fine and I'm fine and we just gonna do this? No. Because when all that wear down, guess what? You out there stuck with somebody you were never supposed to be connected to. Some business venture you never were supposed to get in. Some business partner you weren't supposed to be connected to. And some educational institution that you should have run from. But here we are.
Yeah. Well, I say in those kind of situations, because, you know, a lot of the times we sometimes unknowingly, other times avoidantly end up in these kind of situations. So then the question is, what is the lesson that you got out of it? So that you don't end up in the same space again. Because there's some people that'll just be like, oh, it's okay, I can get myself out of this. And then they turn around and they end up in the same thing again, because they weren't paying attention to what is the very thing that got them into the situation, you know, in the first place.
And we end up in a repetitive cycle unnecessarily because we didn't pay attention to what took place before. And then we just end up again. I refuse. Now I'm going to get married again when God see fit. But I refuse to end up the same way that I was before, because y'all, I'm going to end up in an orange jumpsuit and it's going to be a permanent one. I'll be like, yeah, I did it. Take me. So to keep that from happening, I need to do my due diligence. I need to watch for the signs, and I need to be vocal. I need to communicate, because I want him to be in love with me. I'm gonna be in love with him, and we just can't get enough of each other. And our mindset, like, we strategizing. All right, baby, what we gonna do? This is what do we see ourselves in 3 years, 5 years, 10 years? Let's plan this out. But let's talk about this before we say I do, because I want to make sure we're going in the right direction. Let me do my due diligence on this school. I want to go. I've seen a lot of commercials about this college and the degree and how easy it is to obtain your degree. Let me go do some research. Let me check some of the let me check the graduation rate. Let me check the how well the students speak, or former students speak of the school. Let me look at how the employees speak. Let's see about their accreditation. Who are they accredited through, and how is their accrediting body? Are they shaky? Are they good? So we have to do our research. Like, you don't just sit up today and say, you know what? I want to go to college. Okay, where? Are you going to research it? Or are you just going to take the first one? That one. And then you end up in more trouble from that than before. And then now you want to make excuses why you weren't successful or what happened. They don't have this and they don't have that. But did you do your research? Did you do what you were supposed to do to make sure that it had what you needed before you went and applied and got books and all this, registered for classes? No, you didn't do that. So then now you want to justify your lack of success, and this happened and this happened. But what'd you do? What'd you say? Where'd you go? What questions did you ask? Maybach says, I embrace solutions, not excuses. Well, I had a friend of mine tell me a long time ago, excuses are reasons for failure. You want to put some excuses up there? They're excuses. They don't mean anything. Can we not just throw that around? Because then a lot of people are like, oh, woe is me. There are people today that are very entitled, COVID messed us up. We had entitled people before COVID, but man, COVID just ran us down because now people think that you're supposed to give stuff to them and prepare it for them and just lay it out on a platter. I'm entitled to this. You're not entitled to nothing. Come to me with that. You're not entitled to nothing. I'm working hard, getting what I need, and you're going to put in the same amount of energy and time and effort. I'm not just handing this to you. Nobody handed it to me. I tell my students all the time, y'all got it easy. When I was in school, in surgical technology school, I had a rolling suitcase, not the little carry-on one, the big jumbo one that you have to put under the plane. I had that loaded with books that were mandatory that we had to purchase for that program. And I had to drag it in, and I got pregnant while I was in, starting the program. So it was extra hard for me because here I am pregnant, dragging this suitcase. But guess what? I did it. I didn't complain that I had to buy all these books and do all of this and get up at 5 o'clock in the morning to get to clinical at 6 and be there all day long. I didn't make those complaints. And even I had my son on a Monday, still in school because he was born in July. Had him on a Monday, July 11th. I stayed out that week. I came back the following Monday. They looked at me like I was crazy. You back? What? Whoa, yes, I'm back because I'm going to finish. I'm not getting ready to do this program again. I'm about it. I'm getting ready to get this and I'm moving on. And I did. I was breastfeeding, so I would pump in my director's office, put the milk in her little refrigerator. I had milk at the daycare. My mother owns the daycare center. So I made it happen so I could finish. So these excuses that people use, y'all don't make excuses, because you know what the excuses do? They delay you from reaching destiny. They just keep you back and back and back, because all you're doing is saying this and this happened and this happened, and you whining and complaining. All that time you're spending whining and complaining is the time that you need to buckle down, dig your heels in, and figure out what you need to do to get where you want to be. That's all you got to do. That's it. It's just that simple. And if you need some help, then find you somebody to help you. Somebody going to give you the real. They're not going to pacify you. It ain't going to feel good. Trust me. It's not. It's going to hurt a little bit. It's going to sting, because I've had that happen to me. But what it did in the process would make me be accountable, make me get on my grind, do what I need to do. I've had influential people tell me there's no reason why you should be at this level in this business. You need to be there. And this is what you need to do. You too anointed. You are too intelligent. You're too creative. You're too, now I'm extroverted. I wasn't like this, but you people drawn to you, and they are, for you not to be where you want to be. And I'm grateful for where I am. I'm being pushed further, and it's a little uncomfortable, but I know it's to get me ultimately to my destiny completely. So y'all gonna keep having false justification for your failures, or are you gonna take the bull by the horn and say, you know what, it's me. I can look at just this last week. I can look at last week and see what I did or didn't do last week. For me, on all transparency, last week, I didn't do my schedule like I should have. And I was running amok here at home. This week, trust the schedule got to be, because I start back, the quarter starts tomorrow. And I teach 3 days a week and tutoring 2 days a week. So I don't have time to not have everything regimented, everything, every hour accounted for. I can't. I have to put time in for my business. I have to put time in for teaching. I have to put time in for my personal life. You know, with all this stuff, the traveling. I had one guy asked me, he said, you travel, you teach a lot, you do all of this stuff. You got time for a relationship? Yeah. People make time for what they want. Now that right there will preach. People make time for what they want. So if you want your business to be successful, make the time. If you want your relationship to go to the next level, make the time. If you want to make the dean's list or the president's list, make the time you need to study, put in the work so you can get to that level. Make it work. Do the work. Y'all got me all y'all got me all lit up in here today.
Well, there's zero lies there.
So,
Zero lies.
there's nothing that you can utilize that will justify you not reaching your goal. Even if, let's just say, even if you came down with an illness or a sickness that put you down. Now, here's what I can say. If it puts you down, but you can lay in the bed, and I know this because I've done it. I had COVID the first time. I had COVID twice. The first time I had COVID, y'all, I had it so bad. It wasn't bad enough that I need to go to hospital, but I couldn't even get out the bed. Do you know I taught my classes from my bed on Zoom, half slumped over, teaching my students as if I was 100% well? Didn't use an excuse. I was the only one teaching at the time. They needed that. Now, if you down and you got a few days where you just absolutely can't do anything, I get that because our bodies go through a lot of things. But when you start to feeling a little bit better, but you're not 100% and you still need to be off, there's something that you can do. Lay in that bed and tap on that computer. Lay in that bed and do some research. Lay in that bed and write some notes down. No excuses. None. Like I would have my laptop, I would have my textbooks, notebooks, all in the bed with me while I got COVID. Doing work, getting stuff done because I wanted my students to be successful. I wanted them to end the semester with the information that they needed. And at that time, one of the businesses I have now, I didn't have it then. So I really wasn't working on too much of anything else, but I can't let anything stop me. Y'all don't let anything stop you. All right. Maybe I said
Not at all. Go ahead. Go ahead.
I was just going to read his comment. He said, people who are not motivated can be motivated, but someone who is lazy and complacent can't be motivated. Ooh, that's good. Because if it's in your nature just to be lazy and you want stuff handed to you, you don't want to put forth no effort at all. Like y'all, I'm sitting up here right now, pouring sweat, just sweating. Y'all probably saying, oh, she glowing. Nah, that's sweat, baby. I'm hot. But if I put in the work and it gives you the information you need because I'm motivated to help not only myself because this is helping me, but to help everybody else. But if you lazy and you content where you are, like this is one of the reasons why, and I grew up in Valdosta. I did. And this is one of the reasons why I don't like to stay, when I visit, I don't stay there long because the people are talking about the same thing. There's no progression. Nobody wants anything different. Get out of Valdosta and go somewhere where you can really stretch and grow and move to the next dimension. Like, don't just stay there and just fall into that. That's why after a couple of days, I'm like, I got to go. I got to get out of here because I don't want anything. And strong as I am, if you don't pay attention, stuff will infiltrate you. And before you know it, you're acting like everybody else. And then it's like, oh, I'm having an out-of-body experience because now I'm seeing myself like them. Like, I got to get out of here. Do you hear me? Out. So then I go somewhere. That, and the same thing is with church. Same thing is with church. If I'm in a ministry, a part of a ministry that's not progressing, it's not growing, there's not any advancement, it's just like it is, I'm out. I cannot, because what's going to happen is going to end up affecting me. I'm going to become stagnant. I'm not going to grow spiritually. I'm not going to get to where I need to. I'm not going to get the insight that I need. So I don't want to be, I got yes, and I do, Maybach. I do have a ring light, and it's a little one that I got for free, but that sucker is, and I haven't turned down. That's so funny. I haven't turned down, and it's still about to set me on fire. But another thing is when I get excited about something that I'm talking about, yeah, it's gonna happen. It is, but it's all right. The glisten is all right.
I've had I've actually had clients in labor, like active
Hmm.
labor on the computer doing assignments.
Wow. See?
If if having a baby doesn't stop you from getting certain things
Absolutely.
done, then there really is no excuse. And that's something that I know I personally use even like right now. I'm in Ghana because there is a chance that I may relocate. And the conversation of
I'm sad.
relocation is really because the space and the environment that I'm in right now is not conducive to where I know I'm supposed to be going
Hmm.
next. And it doesn't mean that I can't do certain things. It's just your environment will only your environment what's the word, shapes how you
Hmm.
think. And because it's not just me, it doesn't define you, but it will shape how you see things, what your point of
Hmm.
view is. And because I'm also raising children, their point of view
Right.
matters. What I'm showing them
Absolutely.
matters. And so it's not only is it making a decision for my kids and their environment, but then it also is, what exactly is this going to do for me in the next level? And it sucks to be in a place sometimes where like your business has so much potential to thrive and to grow, but you're in an environment that doesn't allow you to do that. So imagine you being a lemon tree and someone's got you in a solo
Hmm.
cup. You can never get to a place where you actually bear some lemons being planted in a solo cup. Someone eventually is going to have to put you in a big planter because lemon trees have deep roots. They need a lot more space. And the more that you try to confine it, it won't do what it's supposed to do, nor is it going to bear any
Right.
fruit.
Right.
So we have to be okay with knowing that the growth that we're making sometimes means that, yep, all right, I'm gonna have to move out of this solo cup and I'm gonna have to move myself into this planter for a bit. And now this is a whole lot more space than it was in the solo cup before. And you might have a whole lot of room to be able to
Mm.
grow and get the deeper root system going on in there. But that doesn't mean that it's
Right.
done yet,
Right.
because even though we put it into this planter, that doesn't mean that that's the final destination for where exactly that plant is supposed to go. Like you might have to repot it a few times before it's in one that is acceptable for the roots and stuff. And so it may take 2-3
Hmm.
years before. So I know a lot of the times, we will make also excuses for how long it's going to take. I know when I tell the kids to clean their room, but it's going to take me forever. Well, the longer we have this conversation, the longer it really is going to take. So it will take
Yeah.
forever if you don't get to
Yep.
moving,
Absolutely. So the time that you're wasting whining
you
and
know.
complaining about how long it's going to take is work time that you could be working. And don't focus on that part. See, we put the cart before the horse every time. Just get on the horse and ride the horse. Okay? Don't worry about the cart. Just ride the
Yeah.
horse and do what you're supposed to do, and the cart is gonna come along. And before you know it, if you're paying attention, to the work that you're doing, you're going to end up where you need to be. But I like what you said about, putting yourself in a small space. You can't grow. You get to the point to where that's it. And then you wonder why you hit a plateau. Why have I hit this plateau and I haven't broken through? Because you're in this small confined space. It's time for you to move somewhere else. And people and I've literally done that my most of my adult life. I've moved from state to state to state, not because I wanted to. Trust me, if I could have posted up somewhere and just been there, but that's not who I am. So everywhere that I've been has been something to help my growth. People always ask me, why did you go to South
Yeah.
Dakota? Like, are there any of us there? There's a handful, literally a handful. But when I think back on why I moved there, well, the job fell in my lap, but I learned greater leadership skills at that location. That's because that was the first time that I had faculty working under me, that I had to lead, that I had to direct. I learned and gained greater leadership skills. And there were a couple of conferences I went to in Minnesota also to help me with that. So even though I was there the 3.5 years and experienced the weather I don't ever want to experience again, what I gained from that, what I learned from that, I was able to take into other places I've been and into my own personal life to be the leader that I am. So you guys don't confine yourself to one spot, and do not allow fear to stop you. You want all this, you want your businesses to be making 6, 7 figures, you want to be doing this, you want to have that. But if you don't look outside the box and think maybe I need to go to another land of opportunity that has greater access to the resources that I need, then you're going to stay confined. And so then you're going to be like, I just don't know what's wrong. Move. That's right, Maybach. He says there's power in the tongue and with words. So we have to speak positive things into existence as well. Exactly. What you desire, you need to constantly speak it and visualize it. This book that I read is called The Power of the Subconscious Mind. When I tell you, he gives the practical things on how, because the subconscious mind doesn't know right or wrong, good or bad. It just knows what the conscious mind feeds it. So if you're consciously thinking, I don't have this or I don't have that, that goes to the subconscious mind, and the subconscious mind doesn't say, no, April, that's not right. That's not what it is. You don't want that. That's bad. It just says, okay, well, you don't have that. So I'm gonna produce more of you don't have that. So, but if I feed my subconscious mind daily on the things and I visualize what I want, and our CVO in my company tells us this all the time, and it's biblically based. I have stuff on my mirror in my bathroom that I read, affirmations, what I listen to before I go to sleep at night, that will just, and I dream some stuff, some serious stuff, and I woke up like, oh, wow, okay. But you can bring that stuff into existence. Do whatever is necessary to get you to the success that you desire. There's not just one cookie cutter way. There's multiple things that work together for your good, for you to receive what it is that you want. Are you ready for that? Or are you going to be content just continuously making excuses? Are you going to continuously?
Yeah, you have to do it afraid. Like you honestly do. I know I'm someone who feels like I need to have all of my eggs in one basket. I need to know the beginning, the middle, the end, the what ifs, the who, woulda, coulda, shouldas, all of those things in between. And I know right before leaving, my therapist was, just talking about expansion in general as far as mindset is concerned, because he's like, Morgan, you can stick yourself in a position where you'll never leave, just because of all of the things that you can drum up in your head. And I think a couple of times we've talked about that movie Inside Out, the second one, where anxiety now gets introduced. And I cried in that movie, actually, because the character really, I guess, resonated with me with all of the what ifs and what happens when you get into that tizzy of, all of the possibilities. And of course, the brain and, the enemy first and foremost wants to get you into that negative that negative mindset. So it tends to be all of the negative things that'll happen. And, so my therapist is, constantly talking about, he's like, well, what if this does work? What if you do go? What, you know what I mean? And it's like, okay, yeah, what if? And sometimes taking that leap of faith, sometimes doing something scared, sometimes not having all the answers. Like right now, I definitely don't have all of the answers. I just know I was led to come here, and everything that needed to happen in order for me to get here happened so flawlessly that it was just a confirmation that this is what I'm supposed to be doing
Yeah.
right now. And it's been the same exact thing once I got here. And it's like, okay, well, and this is a new thing for me. Like I said, I like to know all of the ins and outs of things. And for this one, I don't. You know what I mean? This is a complete faith walk at this point in time. But you either want it or
Yeah,
you don't.
absolutely.
I know that there's a certain type of lifestyle that I want for myself. I know there's a certain kind of, income that I want. There's a certain kind of legacy that I want to be able to build for my
Mhm.
children and an environment that I would like them to be in. And the crazy thing is, even in looking at how I've been doing things recently, I may have to do some things that I don't want to do, but I have to continue to remind myself that these things are all
Yeah.
temporary. So, as much as I love homeschooling, there may come a time where I'm going to have to put my kids in
Mhm.
school because I'm going to need that other time to do something else. And that doesn't mean that it's going to be
Right.
forever, but it means that right now they may end up having to be in a space where they are being educated and in a space that I at least am comfortable with, and I know they're going to get what they need to be able to get. And then this way I can be able to focus on what it is that I'm supposed to
Absolutely.
get. You know what I mean? So being able to still be flexible in certain things and understanding that, everything in its timing and nothing really is permanent at the end of the day, I think allows you to get to a place where you can be a lot less inclined to make excuses
Absolutely.
for
Absolutely.
things.
I'm going to say two more things and then we're going to end it for tonight. But Maybach said, Morgan, facts. It starts with the mindset. Absolutely. Two things. Now, I'm a Bible reader. And so everything that we deal with in life, there's a story for it. And Morgan was talking about moving to a different place. Remember in the Bible, God told Abram, he was Abram at the time, told him to leave his father and his family and go to a place that he would show him. You get your folks together, get your wife and your kid, yeah, go. Yeah, you go. I'll show you where to go. He didn't have everything all laid out. Go to this city. You're going to go to this plot. You're going to build here. You're going to do that. He didn't give him that. He said, you just pack up and go. I'm going to show you. So that means when you travel, when you get to the place I want you to be, I'm going to tell you, this is it right here. So we have to take that leap of faith many times. Like all the places that I moved, when I moved to Ohio, my kids were 6, 4, and 5 months old. I left and moved to Ohio. No family, no friends, no nothing. Just me and those kids. And I went there. That's where the opportunity was. And then all of these other things opened up. Now, the daycare, I was secured before I went. School was secured. My place to live was secured. All of that was done before I left. But all the community that I needed and the church that I needed and the friends that I needed, all of that produced afterwards. And it helped me to grow because I experienced a lot and gained a lot of insight and wisdom and all of that. But you just got to pick up and move, pick up and go. Know in your mind, if you constantly think, this is not going to work, I'm not going to be successful, well, then when you get there, you're going to fall flat on your face. But if you go with expectation and anticipation of things going well and you learning and get to the next level, then yeah, that's what's going to happen to you. The other thing is it's a temporary inconvenience. Like you were talking about maybe having to put the boys in school, regular school. It's going to be a temporary inconvenience for them, for you now to produce the life that they can have permanently. So a temporary inconvenience for a permanent solution or for a permanent outcome. I tell my surgical technology students that all the time because they talk about how when they go to their clinical rotation, how they can't work. I tell them when I was director, I would tell all my students, listen, we would have an information session. I said, listen, the last semester you will not be able to work at all. So my suggestion to you is start stockpiling some money now, where you maybe have to drop down to part-time or PRN. I said, but it's a temporary inconvenience for permanent satisfaction, for permanent position, for a permanent solution post you finish a post education. So if you can manage your time well, do what you need to do now. And they were appreciative of that I gave them the real from the beginning. You may have to sacrifice some things, but think about it, it's just temporary. You get one solid year. I will make it worth your while. Every single one of my graduates over the past 15, 16 years I've been teaching, all of them working, every single one of them. Every single one of them, because they took what I told them, they worked it, and then it helped them to get to where they are. So y'all don't be afraid. Just keep moving, keep speaking positive words out of your mouth. Keep your mindset positive. Keep your actions positive. Don't allow yourself to get around anybody negative. So with that being said, y'all stop making false justification for your failure. Take accountability. Take responsibility. Say it was me. I did it. I slacked in some areas. But tonight, I hope that we have encouraged you enough to now recognize your areas of weakness, that you didn't do what you were supposed to do. And I hope this is a wake-up call. Like, oh, let me get myself together. Yeah. Not only did we give you guys a wake-up call, I know I've given it to myself. Now I got to do inventory of me. What else do I need to do? Because maybe I kind of slacked off in some areas. I need to get back on my game. I don't have time for the foolishness. I got things I got to do. So we all gonna do it together. So happy y'all came on. Go ahead, Morgan. Go.
No, I just said absolutely. I'm just agreeing with you. You're right. I know you lit a fire underneath my butt. I got a little confirmation in there, so I'm all good. I'm set for the week.
All right. I'm so happy that all of you were able to make it on YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram. This was fun. Girl, I'm streaming on my Instagram page. I can't even believe it. Like,
that's really exciting.
So we have all of these platforms. If you are not subscribed to the House of Peach, you need to subscribe immediately. So you will get notifications when the Boss Ladies Lounge is on, if there's events that we're having, if there are other things going on with the House of Peach, you need to be in the know. I don't want y'all missing another show, because see, you like tonight, I know y'all were shocked, like, oh, this is a good one here. You better subscribe so you won't miss another one. If you want to connect with either one of us, you know how to find me. Most of y'all do. I'm on Instagram, on TikTok, Facebook. Just so much. Oh my God, it's a lot. Morgan's on all of that too. And we tag each other in stuff, and we post and do things all the time. So you have direct access to us. If there is a topic that you would like us to discuss, you may not, want to do it, but you want us to do it, then inbox one of us and let us know. We don't have any problem talking about it. You actually save us a little trouble trying to figure out what we're going to do. Give us something to talk about. But don't forget, the last Monday in this month is our He Said, She Said segment. And I want to make sure that it's a doozy. So we really, really going to work on that one. All right. So until we come together again next Monday at this same time,
I'll be a whole extra year older too.
That's right. You will.
Yep, exactly. Yeah, birthday's on Saturday. I'm excited.
Oh my God. What are you gonna do?
I don't know. Still trying to figure that out.
Well, look, it's not like you're limited with ideas. There's so much that you can do over there to have a good time. All I want are pictures and videos. That's all I want. I want to see all of that. I'm gonna get my plane ticket together. I'm coming out there. I got the passport. I stay passport ready. So,
exactly. You stay passport ready. And listen, I done seen some things, so I can't wait to call you and fill you in.
Yes, do that. Maybach, yes, sir. You do know how to find me. You do. All right, y'all. We appreciate you so much. I hope you enjoyed the show tonight. We'll be back to do it all over again next Monday. Y'all have a phenomenal week. And y'all, stop making excuses. Buckle down. Get what you want. It's right there. It's right there. All right. We'll see y'all next week. Bye.